Hello, ladies. So I'm kind of a director, writer, producer, writer, director who makes my own little movies in my bedroom with my little webcam and my little microphone and my little headset. And if you're into that kind of thing, call 8675 86755. And anytime, anywhere, as long as it's my bedroom, we can make ourselves a little movie. You can be in it, and I'll make you a star, if you know what I mean. You see? See, I'm kind of a writer, director, producer. And if you're into that kind of thing, well, then we can make ourselves a little movie. You can be the star. I'll make you a star, girl. Nah, I mean. See, I got this professional microphone. I got this very professional webcam. And I got this very professional headset. So I'm kind of an official director, writer, producer, writer, director. And if that interests you, is all I'm saying. If you're interested in those kind of man, the kind of man who could make you a star.
Hi, so I'm going to be making a video about the NES plug-and plays that they sell on Amazon. You might see them under like retro gaming console or like plug and play NES console, something like that. They usually sell on Amazon for like $30, $40, pretty cheap, and they're usually say on there like, oh, comes with 1 to 1,000 games, comes with 1 to 500 games, 1 to 2,000, 10,000, whatever it is. And the big thing that a lot of people say about them is that they don't actually have as many games as they say they have on them, which might be true for a lot of them. It probably is, which I've actually seen when YouTubers show like, hey, this is the plug and play that I got. It'll say it has 1,000 games, but it just repeats games. It'll have the same game, just repeated over and over again. And it'll just be like a list of maybe 100, and then it just repeats 10 times. But so this is the plug and play I have off Amazon. I'll show the top of it, and then a little controller, and it's basically just like a tiny little NES. Except, obviously you don't actually put the cartridge in there. It's just kind of just preloaded, and it's kind of cheap. There's the power plug-in and the AV plug-in right there. And the other thing I've noticed is that you have to have the AV plug-in like all the way in. Like if it's not all the way in, then it's not gonna turn on. Like it won't show up on your screen. Other than that, it's pretty cool. Like this one in particular, if you find this model on Amazon, I think my sister got it for my birthday, and it was like $35. And none of the games on there that I can see repeat. Like none of them. So that's pretty cool. I can't notice any of the games that repeat on there. So if they do, I didn't see it. But I also have some footage of me playing some of the games. I'm not that fucking great at playing old school games. I'm also not that great at playing games. I'm going to be uploading me playing like different games, and you're going to notice, yeah, he's not that great, but I have fun doing it. So I think that's all that really matters if you're playing games. Like, as long as you're having fun doing it, you don't have to be the best at playing games. It's a game. So you shouldn't exactly have the goal of being the best. You should just be having fun doing it. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool for $35 at least, that you can just play all the old school NES games. Not all of them, but I mean, I think this one has like 640 or something. I show that in the footage, how many are actually on there. And that's pretty decent for $35 to have 644 NES games that you can play. The other thing about it is some of them, like I noticed there's a Zelda game on there. It seems exactly like Zelda, but it's not called Zelda on there. It's called like Adventure Guide Green or some shit, and it's basically just fucking Zelda, like the original Zelda. Um, I also noticed some weird stuff, like there's some weird like Japanese games that like I've never even heard of where it's like Mario 14, and I feel like I've maybe seen. I showed in the footage of me playing it. Like I feel like I might have seen this Mario game, but the opening of it is just so weird, and plus it's called like Mario 14, so it's like, is there even a Mario 14 on NES? Like, I don't know. There probably is, to be honest, but is it this game? Or is this just some kind of weird, you know, creation in some Japanese guy's basement? Um, who's really to say either way? Um, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool that you can just get all that for $35, even if some of it is just like, um, what was one of them? Like Pikachu. What's the game called? The ones where the gems fall from the top. I can't. Tetris. It's like Pikachu Tetris, which I don't even know if that was like a real game on the NES. It might have been like Pikachu Tetris, but it's just called like Pikachu. That could have been a thing. I don't really know. I wasn't alive when the NES was made, so I don't know every NES game. But it's kind of a weird addition, you know, to just throw it in like, yeah, this in your 600 games, there's Pikachu Tetris. I feel like that's not like the number one game you would want on there. Is Pikachu Tetris? I feel like there's no one buying this being like, God, I hope Pikachu Tetris is on there. So it has a lot of that where it's like I've never even heard. I don't even know if that's a real game, but it's on there. But there's also like, you know, Mario. There's like Donkey Kong. There's like Ninja Turtles. There's Spider-Man, Batman. You know, all that stuff that you would or what's the like RoboCop. It has the RoboCop games and has like RoboCop 1, 2, 3, and 4. So those are real games, obviously, and they're on there. The legality of it, probably not very legal for them to do that, but is it cool they did it? Kinda, yeah. But yeah, I don't know if I really have much more to say about it. I'll add on more if I do. Alright, so right here I'm kind of just going through the list of games. I'm going to show you how many games it has on there, and you can kind of look through and see what kind of different games it has. It has a lot of old NES games, but like I put in one of the texts on the screen earlier, it has some games that are like, you know, hacks of maybe a Famicom game. If you don't know what a Famicom is, it was another old console, so there might be some games that were maybe like an arcade cabinet game, or like a Famicom game, or maybe it was on some other old console that a lot of people have never even heard of. So it has some type of stuff like that. It seems like a lot of these are pretty legit games. Well, I wouldn't say legit, because like I put in the earlier title, one of them is literally a hack of an actual Japanese Famicom game. But a lot of them are games. They're not just like, you know, something made up that they just threw on here. So at least there's that. So I'm just going through here, kind of just trying to show so people can look and see what games are on there, but also how many. You can also see me scrolling, and the way you scroll with the controller is kind of strange, because so you click the down arrow to scroll through like I'm doing now, and then I think it's like the side arrow to like actually go one by one. So it's just kind of weird. So it's either one or the other, where it's like you need to click the over arrow to go each one, or you need to click, and then you need to click like start to actually play the games. You don't click A. I think A, if you hit it, or A or B, it literally just goes to the next list of games. So that's also kind of strange. The other thing I kind of like about the controller is that the controller seems dependent on, for example, if you're playing a game and it's like, you'll kind of see it later on that I show, if it's one that kind of scrolls, if it's a game that scrolls up and downwards and side to side kind of, you can press the down arrow or the up arrow or the whatever arrow, and you don't have to hit the other arrows to kind of do it. You can kind of hit the down arrow and do it to the left or do it to the right, and then that will kind of dictate what kind of direction downwards you're going. So if you want to go forwards and down, you can kind of click down and in that right direction. So that's kind of cool. So this game is kind of just a battleship kind of game, just kind of like Battleship, except, you know, it's a actual console game. I don't remember what it was called. It was called something weird. Bomber. I think it was called Bomber. I think that's what it was. You can go back and actually see in the recording what it was called, but I think it was just called Bomber. Yeah, you can see here, I didn't really hit any of the houses. It's kind of just a guessing game. So you kind of just got to guess, you know, where am I going to hit? So it's kind of just random RNG for that, you know. What does the computer decide the house is at? Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool, the idea of a battleship kind of game being on here. I thought that was kind of cool. Now, is it trying very hard? No, it's not trying very hard. It's not like you're like really shooting for the stars to do like a battleship kind of game. Again, I feel like it's one of those things where no one's buying this console to play that game. You know, no one's buying an NES emulator being like, God, I hope that battleship-like game is on there. So this is kind of the game that I was talking about, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, where you can push the down arrow, and it kind of lets you scroll by what direction you press the down arrow. You can go in the other direction. So if you push it to the right or push it to the left, and you're pushing the down arrow, it'll kind of go downwards and to that direction, which is kind of cool. And you'll kind of see that, I'll kind of explain when we're at those spots when I'm doing that. And on here, I'm not really trying to play super hard. I'm not really trying to be like, oh, I gotta beat this level. I think I have beat this first level before, just messing around. But I was kind of just trying to show what kind of games this console has. So I was kind of just whacking, trying to get through it. This is a pretty cool game, though. So to be able to have a game that normally, if you were to buy an NES and you were to buy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 for the NES, it might be, you'd be spending hundreds of dollars. You'd spend hundreds just to get that. So the fact that you can just get it, you know, for $35 with 600 other games, pretty cool. But then these games are also, you also got to think these games are also very limited to, they're limited to how many buttons and that kind of thing, and the limitations of those older consoles. These older games were limited to like 2 buttons and then directional pads. So you can go up, down, left, right, and you can press A or you can press B, or you can go back and reset the game. That's basically what you can do in the game. So like the move set, for example, you can see the move set. So jump is B, I guess, and then to hit is A. So you can kind of see how that can limit you, because you can either jump or you can hit, or you can jump and hit at the same time, which is like a kick. So it kind of limits you in what you can actually do, and that's how it's not like, you know, obviously like you're playing a PS5 game where it's, you know, can have these amazing graphics and you can also kind of see little glitches and where it kind of cuts out there for a second on the character, and that's how you know, the emulator isn't perfect. It's not emulating perfectly. You can also kind of see where I'm going up and down, but I'm kind of going side to side too. That's where I'm kind of hitting the directions, but I'm doing it a direction in a direction, so. And the other thing about these older consoles is a lot of these games are hard, you know? A lot of these games were a lot more difficult than, you know, it's not like hopping on fucking Minecraft or hopping on, you know, a current Mario game where it's just super easy and then you can just play through the entire game without ever dying. You know, that's kind of the other thing about these older games. They're a little more challenging. They're a little more challenging to play. And so that can be fun if you're into a challenge. Spend $35 on something a little more challenging, where it's going to challenge you repeatedly, and you don't have to spend all that on an NES. Pretty good idea, I think. Now, I hate these little guys. These little guys are annoying as hell, because they're right before the boss. You fight the Rhino guy, who's in, spoiler alert. You fight the Rhino guy from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that's the first boss. But these little guys are so annoying because they shoot, and then they shoot you like right after you hit them. So you'll hit them, and then they shoot you. So it's like you kind of have to jump right then. That would kind of be the strat right there. Is like you hit them and then jump, hit them and then jump. But right here, I did not care enough to do that. I just did not care enough. So I was like, okay. Going to the boss fight. April O'Neil trying to get you to save her. The damsel in distress. She was hot in that show. April O'Neil was hot. And here comes the Rhino dude. I don't remember his name. Rhino guy. And he's in black and white. So that's one thing where they're like, nope, just make him black and white. And he has a pretty crazy moveset, if you notice. He has a kick, he has the gun, and he has a charge. So he has like kind of 3 different moves he can hit you with. And he kind of does the kick anytime you hit him repeatedly. And I just did not care enough to like go through all that, so it's like, whatever, you know. I don't really care if I lose at a game, so it's like, if I'm just showing it to show what kind of games it has, you know. I'm not going to care much if I lose. Just kind of going through here and deciding which one I was going to show next. I was like, go with Batman, I guess. And this isn't the best game. This is kind of a crappy game, to be honest. It's kind of crappy. At first here, I didn't know if the system was bugged out, because it did that little noise for so long. I was like, is this bugged out? Like, do I have to reset the system? But no, it just took that long for the game to start up. The graphics for the Batmobile and stuff kind of look cool, though. This does not look that great. I don't remember Batman being purple. I don't remember purple Batman. But okay, it's like, I guess. And plus the background is just like all black, and like, it's just black. So it's like, and what is he in right now? Is he in a sewer? Is he fighting these people in a sewer? Is this supposed to be Gotham that he's fighting them in? What's he fighting them? And what is he fighting? Like, obviously this guy is like a flamethrower, but what is that purple thing above him? What is that purple thing? Like, what is that? When did Batman fight weird automatons, you know? I don't remember that in the show. And there it died, and I was like, this is dumb anyway. It kind of had crappy movesets, and it was kind of just crappy. So I was like, okay, I'm done with that one. And this is the weird Mario hack that I was talking about earlier. The weird Mario hack. It's a hack of another Famicom game. Some Japanese name. I don't remember what it was. But maybe check that game out, because this was okay. I just, at the beginning of this, I could not get past, it had some jump you had to jump over, and I swear I hit every button in every correlation that you could hit the buttons, and I could not jump over the thing. So it's like, okay, I guess I'm done with that. Just hit every single possible thing I could hit, could not jump over it. So it's like, okay, I'm done. But it looks cool. Looks really cool. And that's the other thing, you can't jump on these. Like any other Mario game, you would jump on top of them to take them out. Not on here. On here, you do not jump on top of them to take them out. You do this shooting thing with the stick. So, I was confused at first, because I thought you would have to jump on top of them to take them out, but no, you don't. See, this is the thing I could not jump over. I was trying so hard to jump over this thing. I tried every possible way to jump over it, could not do it. So it's like, what do you freaking do to jump over this thing? And yeah, there I was like, yeah, I think I'm done here. Just tried every possible thing I could do to try and get through it. I'm like, I think I'm gonna be done with that one. Could not get over the top of that one thing, so it's like, I'm done. And then this was a pretty crappy Spider-Man game. It was just that the moves, like, I'm gonna see if this is the right Spider-Man game. Is it the right Spider-Man game? This was the one that froze on that screen. Or was it the Batman? I don't know. But yeah, so this one, when you kick, you have to stand still to do a kick. You can't do a kick while you're running. So while you're running, you can't kick. You need to stand still and kick. So it's like, you literally have to stop moving and do a kick, and it's so difficult to like, cause see, I'm trying to kick him, but I'm just going past him. So it's like you have to kick him exactly to take him out. And I was like, could not be bothered to do that. I was like, I'm not doing that. Because a lot of these games also suffered from, like, I have to stand still to do an attack. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I was like, some of these older games, people like to think old retro games are all good, and it's not true. I mean, look at some of these. Some of these are not that great, you know? Some of these are not good, and people like to have a lot of nostalgia for retro stuff. Some of it wasn't good. Some of it's great, but some of it wasn't good. This Spider-Man game was okay. This Spider-Man 1 is Spider-Man 2, and I thought it was okay. It was alright. Wasn't great. It was like a time waster, you know, waste some time, at best, you know. But it was better than the first Spider-Man game, so at least there's that, you know. Yeah, I actually got kind of far in that Spider-Man like level 4, and I was like, oh, okay. You'll see some of these games, if they're like crazy easy, I'm like, okay, I'll play through a few levels. But something like Mario here, Mario, you kind of have to be focused, you know, and I wasn't all that focused on it. If I have it playing on recording on the computer, and that's how I'm watching it play, it's not like I'm like super focused on playing Mario, you know, I'm like just kind of trying to record it, so I'm not like super focused on trying to play the game. Usually I can get through a level of Mario pretty easy, but on here I'm like trying to record, I'm trying to do this, so not 100% focused on the game. Usually I can do pretty good, but I really did not care that much either. I was like, I'm just trying to get footage of it, so. And then going down the pipe. Now, if you aren't going down the pipes in Mario, what are you doing? You know, you gotta go down the pipes. Yeah, I was really struggling to get the mushrooms at certain points. I was like, Jesus, I must spell some mushrooms. People are gonna clown me so hard in the comments, but like, you know, I just wasn't focused, you know? I wasn't like dialed into playing Mario. Usually I can get through the first level pretty damn easy, but I just couldn't be bothered. And here's this Pac-Land game. I remember, Pac-Land or something like that for PS2. I remember I had Pac-Land, or it was called something like that for PS2. This game was actually okay. It was like alright, but it had very weird controls. The controls were weird. That's why you see me struggling at the beginning, because to run is the A button. It's not the directional pad. To run is A. And then to jump is like up on the directional pad. So it was just kind of weird, the controls. I had to get used to the controls for a second, because, you know, pressing A to run, you know, that just was weird, so I kind of had to get used to it. but I liked it. It was okay. If it had normal controls, I'd probably like it more. But it was alright. Yeah, but Pac World or Pac Land or whatever it was called for PS2, that game was pretty cool. I remember liking that as a kid. I thought that was really cool when I was a kid. And I just like Pac-Man when I was a kid too. Just regular Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man or whatever. You know, those were pretty cool. And then here was the weird Pikachu Tetris game. I kind of played this for a while because I was like, oh, I guess I'm kind of good at Tetris. To be honest, I'd never played Tetris that much. I never played a lot of Tetris. Not a big Tetris person, but once I clicked on this and I was like, just kind of soothed me. I was like, just whispered to my soul, like, Pikachu looked me deeply in my eyes and he said, Pika Pika, and I Pika Pika'd, all over. The gems just kind of fell from the sky and made me at one with everything. Made me real zen. So I kind of played it for a while. And here's the final game here. Like the original OG, besides like the first like Donkey Kong game, like the OG Mario, OG Mario, before like what people recognize as like the first Mario. This was like first Mario. I'm pretty sure this is like Mario, you know, Mario before Mario. I always thought this game was like okay, you know, it's all right. Not my favorite thing in the world. I like regular Mario more than I like this one, but okay. But this is the last game that I played on there, and I was like, I'm done. I felt like I got like, you know, over a half hour of me recording gameplay, so I was like, okay, I feel like that's enough. That's enough to show what this retro emulator console has on it. A half hour, you know. That's all anyone's gonna spend playing this anyway. That's the max anyone's gonna spend playing one of these retro emulator consoles. So, and about as much effort as I put in too. So, well, yeah, that'll do it. I hope if you did watch this that you enjoyed watching me suck at games. I do suck at games. I will suck at games, and that's a guarantee.